What is up, football fans? This is Play Action Takes, Apollo Media's NFL podcast brought to you by Zing Zang's Blazing Bloody Mary Mix and the Celebrity Mint. Thank you for sponsoring this episode. Boys, week 13 is over.
It's over.
Goodbye, week 13. It was fun.
It was a good little week.
It was
not
fun.
a bad slate. Yeah, I mean, we were trying to talk about how it looked bad, but we're like, maybe it'll be good, and it wasn't bad.
Yeah,
no, the 1 o'clock slate was a little lackluster if you didn't care for any of the teams playing, because there was a lot of just kind of nothing games, games that didn't really matter except for the Denver-Houston game, which we can talk about if we want to just hit that right off the top. I know you all just recorded Off the Gridiron, which will be up very soon on Apollo HOU YouTube, so go check that out. Hit the subscribe button, like button, comment. But that was an interesting game. The turnover luck finally changed over for Denver. Like, they had just been getting all of the turnovers recently. They started turning the ball over. Derek Stingley Jr. proves that he's better than Sauce Gardner again for the second straight week. Just wanted to make sure that we were clear on that. Sauce Gardner is not better than Derek Stingley Jr. You all squeaked out a win. It wasn't pretty. You lost Tank Dell. A little disappointment. A little no flags. A touchdown that should have happened. Semantics. But you came home with the W.
It wasn't super pretty. There were some overthrows. There was some. I mean, the defense came to play. Will Anderson is insane. Will Anderson had 2 sacks, should have been 3. Got his hand on a punt, tipped a pass that led to one of Stingley's interceptions. A couple TFL. I mean, just a huge day for him. It was a fight. I mean, down to the last second. Shout out Jimmy Ward, had a amazing interception in the end zone to lock up the game. But yeah, I mean, hopefully. Like, Denver's hot, so I knew it was going to be a hard game. It was rough. CJ got sacked 5 times. I mean, he was getting his ass beat. But overall, Texans pulled out the win, and now are going to play the Jets next week. So it should be an easy-ish win, theoretically, and we should be, smooth sailing after this week.
Yeah, I think we're going to win out.
It's possible.
I think so. I mean, Denver, getting past Jacksonville and Denver was the 2 hardest parts of the second half of the season. Well, also the Bengals, we did that. Yeah. The Jacksonville game, we probably should have won. Whatever. That was water under the bridge. That was 2 weeks ago. Yeah. Denver game, we did win. Thank God. Because if we didn't, I'd be the
We needed that one badly. But now we got the Titans twice. We got the Colts again. We have the Jets, and we have the Browns.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
I mean,
theoretically, there's some hard. There's some sneaky games. That Browns one sneaky, and that Colts one might honestly be a little sneaky. But because they're, for some reason, they just keep winning, and it's driving me crazy. But
we've got some huge New York Jets football quarterback news breaking about 20 minutes ago. Tim Boyle was released.
Shocker.
Nothing to do with
I
Aaron
guess
Rodgers.
that means Trevor Siemian, step right up.
And there's that report going around that Saleh asked Zach Wilson if he wanted to, or just told him, he's like, "Hey, we're looking forward to you starting again." And he said, "I don't know about that."
Yeah,
that's alleged. I think it's a joke, but it's very funny nonetheless.
I think
Robert Saleh came out and was like, he disputed it. He was like, "That didn't happen. I don't believe you, Robert. I think I think you have a pansy fucking quarterback who got his feelings hurt getting benched, as he should have been, because he's not good, and he now doesn't want to play anymore because at the season doesn't matter anymore. You're 4-8. You're done.
I'm not gonna look. I mean, we can call Zach Wilson a pansy all we want, but the deal is he has just been getting fucked left and right by the Jets. Bench him, come back. We love you, we don't love you. Whatever. We like you, we don't like you anymore. It's like, and then also he gets all the blame for all the issues they have. And it's like, I don't blame him at all for being like, look, fuck no, I'm not gonna be your scapegoat anymore. I don't want to play for you anymore. I don't want to play for this absolute dog water of its fucking team. Like,
I get that, but at the same time, like, if Aaron Rodgers was playing right now, we would be like, the Jets are fine, they're good. Well, take Aaron out, you put Zach in. Zach isn't good. The Jets aren't good.
I'm not saying he's good. Yeah, I'm just saying I don't blame him for.
He deserves criticism for poor play.
No. He's not good. But what I'm saying is, like, I don't blame him for how wishy-washy the Jets have been. Like, and I don't blame him at all for being like, no, I'm not. I'm tired of this. I want to go
They
somewhere
did him a
else.
fucking, they did him a fucking favor, like sticking with him for as long as they did, because like they gave him so much more time, so many more opportunities than I would have as a
Yeah,
fucking coach. Would have been
you're
like,
right. I'm
yeah,
not. I'm
no,
not saying he's good, and I'm not. But what I'm saying is, I don't. Since after benching him and bringing him back and bringing in Aaron, which obviously we'd all love that, and of course Aaron, they'd be so much better with Aaron. But I'm saying like I don't blame Zach for being like, look, no, dude, I'm tired of all this back and forth. Like I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore.
can
Trevor
Dr.
Siemian.
Football diagnose you something real quick?
He's got his
Who?
lab coat on, so he's
Yes,
qualified
Yeah,
for
no,
this.
Dr. Football, you're a softie for Zach Wilson. I don't like it.
Yeah,
It's like,
you're just a
why?
Jets apologist, and I'm tired of
yeah.
it.
Yeah,
I'm
like,
not.
I think
Look,
why?
all
hey,
season
hey,
long.
I'm not. He sucks dick. I'm not saying he doesn't. But what
Hey,
I'm saying is, if the report is true that he's saying that he doesn't want to play for the Jets anymore, or he doesn't want to, he's tired
Eli
of it.
Manning did it.
Uh, Eli's
2-time Super
Eli
Bowl
though. I
winner
mean, I
Eli
love Eli,
Manning.
no doubt,
Before
no
he'd
doubt.
even
But
played a
also,
snap, he said, "I'm not
let's
playing for
not
this team."
start calling Eli. Let's not bring
No,
Eli
no,
to
no,
any
no, no, no.
conversation about Zach Wilson. Let's not do that. We're not
They're
going to
both
do
New
that.
York quarterbacks.
They're very different, very different. But
Mark
anyway, I'm
Sanchez is better than Zach Wilson.
who?
Mark Sanchez way better than Zach
Oh
Wilson.
fuck
Went
yeah,
to AFC
absolutely. I
Championship games.
totally agree.
Yeah.
No, Zach Wilson's bad. I'm just saying I don't blame him for being tired of the circus that is the Jets. I don't
I
blame him.
don't. I just don't. The thing is, like, I don't. I'm like, all right, the whole thing, the whole caboodle, fucking stupid,
Yeah, the
terrible,
whole
all of it. The
situation
thing
is
is, I'm
ridiculous.
like, I would not sit there and go, Zach Wilson. I don't blame you for not wanting to start for this team anymore. I'm like, that's the only opportunities he's going to be able to get, because after this year, if Zach Wilson gets released, he won't be able to ever be a starting quarterback ever again. So why not why not soak it in, let it wash over you, Zach?
Hmm.
Robert Sala also has
What I'm
7
saying,
children.
I wouldn't blame any quarterback who doesn't want to play for the Jets right now. That's what I'm saying. Like I don't care
I
if it's
just
Zach
want y'all.
Wilson, I don't care if it's Trevor Siemian, I don't care if it's Tim Boyle, I don't care if it's whoever. Like I would suck to play for them right now. It would suck
I
because
just
also either way you're going to get all the blame. So
Noah. I just want you to know that Robert Sala has 7 children. 7.
mm,
There is no possible way that he can be a head coach of an NFL football team with 7 children.
I agree. That's ridiculous.
This
Yeah,
is I don't.
he's digging
What
his
are we
own
doing?
grave. He's definitely gone. I don't think even because we've talked about it before. I don't even think giving him a break for the Aaron situation. I think it's just everything has just been
It's over.
awful.
He's
Yeah,
the one Shanahan coach that didn't make it.
yeah,
Hate to see that. Let's talk about real
yeah,
football.
yeah.
Monday night. Nope, not Monday night. Sunday night. Packers 27, Chiefs 19. A little upset. Jordan
That
Love
was
looks like
wild.
Aaron Rodgers. If you're a Bears, Lions, or Minnesota Vikings fan, you are shitting your
You're
pants
scared.
at
Yeah,
the sight of Jordan Love looking exactly like Aaron Rodgers, looking
yeah,
exactly like Brett Favre. I would be
yeah.
irate if I was a fan of any other team in that division. But
Sucks.
I'm happy that the Packers won because that knocked the Chiefs off of the number 1 seed and
Yeah,
flew my Dolphins right up to the number 1 seed in the AFC. So
congrats
I'll
on
take
that.
it.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah, like, I have no words. If I would have no words if I was a Bears fan, or like in a Vikings. I would be like, can they just stop fucking finding good quarterbacks? Like, how lucky can a franchise be?
Well,
Because
here's the deal.
I'm pretty sold on Jordan Love.
Me
I'm
too.
pretty sold on it.
And
I think everyone's buying in on the Love stock.
yeah, and that's what I said before the season. I think on the show, I was like, "Hey, if Jordan Love becomes really good this year, and is just kind of is also just kind of like the next in line to Favre and Rodgers, and now it's Jordan Love being good, the Packers quarterback model of drafting a guy and then making him sit behind a quarterback for 3-4 years, and then putting him in like at the towards the tail end of the prior quarterback's career." Every team is going to start doing that now, and it's starting to look like that is just the most fluid and the best formula for quarterback success. And the Packers are doing it, and they're doing it right. And I mean, like you said, Jordan Love isn't missing a step from those guys. I mean, obviously he's been shaky this year, but we're here at week 13, and he's beating the Chiefs like that, throwing 3 touchdowns and being nails. Yeah, I mean they figured it out, and I think we're going to see teams start to do the same thing here in the future.
It's incredibly alarming that no other team has like tried this at all.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Like I was very nervous that the New England Patriots just lucked into another Tom Brady with Mac Jones, like pedigree, and he won a national championship at Alabama. I was very nervous about that. Don't have to worry about that anymore. But no other team has like tried this except for the Chiefs, and they literally only sat Mahomes for a season. He sat for 15 games and played week 16 or week 17 that year in a pointless game that they'd already clinched or whatever. No one else is trying this, and it keeps working. I don't know why other teams aren't just like, all right, we got a starting quarterback for the next 3 years. He's a little bit older, or he's just fine. He's average. We got our guy, first round, second round. Let him sit. Just let him learn. And
I think it also works best with like the Jordan Love type players, like guys who are coming out that aren't like people talk the way people talk about like CJ Stroud and Bryce Young, even like there were these like, oh, no doubt number 1, number 2 overall picks. They're going to be generational. They look like they have the possibility of being generational talents. Jordan Love came out when he was like this 22nd pick in that draft. Like,
he came from Utah.
Yeah, it's like he was a guy that definitely had potential, but those type of quarterbacks really benefit from sitting for 3 years behind a guy like Aaron Rodgers versus guys who are just kind of ready to come into the league and be starters. So I could see teams doing the same thing, even taking quarterbacks in the second and third round and letting them sit. And like, there's just a different breed of quarterback, and I think Jordan Love and those type of quarterbacks really benefit from sitting. And I think you're right, Stoney. It's weird that teams haven't started to do that, and they're definitely going to be doing it now because it seems like a foolproof system.
The Texans tried that with Tom Savage, but it didn't work.
No, he was great.
Yeah, but Tom Savage was behind nobody. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was just like,
I'm kidding.
But
it was the closest we got with that.
Yeah, it's true. It's just true. But the Texans also have just had pretty good luck of drafting really good rookie quarterbacks. So I mean, the last one didn't really pan out, but at first it seemed like, oh shit. And then we did it again with CJ, and he's having the best year the rookie quarterback's ever had. So it seems like the Texans know what they're doing in that department. But yeah, I'm interested to see what teams do going forward with this model and seeing how it works out for others.
The 2020 draft class included Joe Burrow, who's already gone to a Super Bowl, Tua Tagovailoa, who's in the conversation for MVP this season and actually looks like a great quarterback, Justin Herbert, who analytics teams love, already thrown for 5,000 yards, has not been blessed with a single good coach so far, unfortunately for him. Jordan Love, who looks like he's just going to be Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
And Jalen Hurts, also already gone to a Super Bowl.
That's a crazy,
really good class.
That's insane.
Really good class. Now that Jordan Love is obviously becoming probably most likely the future of Green Bay.
Yeah,
it's just like really solid all around quarterback class. I don't know who came after Hurts, but golly, man,
wasn't good. What year was that? 2020.
2020, the COVID draft.
Yeah,
where Goodell did it from his basement with his chair.
Yeah, right. That's right.
Yeah, that was a fun draft.
That was a good old chair, dude. And then the virtual fans that they showed screens and they were like, ah.
So I think the Packers actually took Jordan Love with the 27th pick, maybe 26th pick. So that was the Miami Dolphins pick that they had picked up from the Steelers, I believe, that season. Or maybe the Texans. I can't remember which pick that was, but it was one of those picks.
Draft. Who knows?
They had 3 picks that year, and they traded back and drafted Noah Igbenogany, who is no longer with the team and also does not play for the Dallas Cowboys. Sick. Another good primetime game. Bengals 34, Jags 31. This happened last night, Monday night. We're recording this on Tuesday, December 5th. It was a great game. Trevor Lawrence, unfortunately, did get a high ankle sprain, and I want to call him out for that. Because Patrick Mahomes did this last year, literally went right back to the locker room, took an x-ray, taped it up, came right back out, and won the game that they were playing in. It's on QB1, the Netflix show, whatever it's called, quarterback.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence left and just did not even attempt.
I don't want to dog on.
I know why.
Oh,
I mean,
you have
Trevor Lawrence is a good little Jesus boy, and said no to drugs and said no to perks. Patrick,
come on,
went to Tech, guns up, go Red Raiders, and fucking said, "Give me them perks. Let's go back out there and win a football game." And that was Perk Mahomes. We didn't get Perk. We won't ever get Perk Lawrence.
No,
we'll never
Lawrence
get him.
Doesn't
He'll be like, not the big man upstairs. He wouldn't like that. And they're like,
Mm-hmm.
we have to fucking win this game, dude. We have to win this game.
Is
So
Joe
it's
Burrow a system quarterback?
no,
Wrap it up. But
no. And the
It looked like
conversation
Browning was great out there.
The conversations I've been having with group chats all morning long with people saying, I know one particular person saying that Joe Burrow isn't that good. And like now it's clear that the sun is shining and now Joe Burrow isn't very good. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here, dude.
No, Joe
I
Burrow's
just
elite.
think Browning's fine. And the Jaguars are also, their defense is fine. You know, it's like, it was just fine versus fine. Fine got the better of fine. You know,
Jake Browning's numbers are fucking ridiculous, though. I mean, 32 for 37, 354, and a touchdown is insane. That is crazy. I don't know. I didn't know about that human being until yesterday. Like, I didn't know
he was good at Washington. He was good at Washington. You know, like he was fine. He was a fine player with them. I didn't really get to catch. I didn't catch most of the game.
Yeah.
But I will say, every time I look, I went into the fantasy. I went to fantasy talk real quick. Yep. I went into this game down by a bazillion, and I was like, "No way, I fucking win." I keep looking. Oh, Jamar Chase is doing really well. Holy shit! Ends the game with like 31 fantasy points, puts me within 5. I lost, sadly, because Tank Dell was in my lineup. But But the thing is, like, what I'm getting out of this is like, holy shit, Jamar Chase went off. Could the Bengals still be them with Jake Browning? I mean, he fed Jamar Chase really well. Like, once you feed your number one targets, good things happen if you're able to feed them, you know? So I don't know. 6-6, you know, they're in the hunt. I don't know about the Bengals.
They don't have to necessarily win out, but they have to win all but one game, essentially, and count on other teams losing. If they win out, and then they still have to count on other teams losing, I think. So they don't control their own destiny, but they're not bad if you're beating the Jags team in Jacksonville.
Yeah, they're not bad. I actually don't think they're gonna make the playoffs, but they'll make things interesting and they'll shake things up.
Like, it was a fun game nonetheless.
Yeah. Still have no respect for the Jaguars.
No.
And now
you can't lose to Jake Browning. I'm sorry. I don't care
what dude. Do you know what a Jaguars fan tweeted on Sunday after the Tank injury?
What?
He said something about, looks like Tank's tiny size finally caught up to him and he finally got injured or something like that. Like, make a joke, like skull face, whatever. And he like deleted it. And then the day after that, Trevor Lawrence gets I'm not laughing at this injury, but I'm just laughing at how the karma works out. Yeah. You know, he's probably like, fuck, I can't believe I tweeted that. It's on him. Mm-hmm. It's his fault that it happened. So
you
know,
absolutely. Which congrats, find his
Jaguars fan, fucking idiot.
I did see a Jags fan tweet at a Dolphins fan. A Dolphins fan was like, "Let's go Cincy, because if Cincy wins, Dolphins move into the 1 seed of the AFC for the first time in December since 1985." The Dolphins have not been a number 1 seed in the AFC since December of 1985. Terrifying. But a Jags fan did tweet out the picture of Tua against Cincinnati last year with his fingers all doing things after the concussion and everything. And he was like, "This is your quarterback." So, I mean, I'm not saying you had it coming for you, but you had it coming for you.
Y'all have it. They're like one of the worst fan bases in football right now. They don't know how to act. Now that their team's okay, and they don't know how to act.
I'm saying that's why I have zero respect for them.
Panhandle East of Florida, you know? It's the same thing.
Terrible city.
Game of the week that we thought was going to be game of the week ended up not being game of the week. 49ers just murdered Philadelphia and Philly. 42-19.
We were giving Vegas all the shit. We were like, y'all are stupid for favoriting the Niners by 3. I mean, we are stupid. We are dumb.
We are stupid. Are we that stupid for the Niners playing a perfect game though?
No.
Like,
no, but still, it didn't. Also, it didn't look like this is how at the beginning. I mean, the Eagles were shutting them down. I mean, they couldn't get anything going, and then all of a sudden, the floodgates open. I mean, Brock Purdy is now leading the MVP race, apparently, according to Vegas, which is crazy. But he threw 4 touchdowns. I mean,
ooh, I'm a hater. Ooh, I hope he doesn't. I hope he doesn't win that shit, dude.
Well, you're not a hater. You acknowledge that Brock Purdy's good, but we all agree that he's not the MVP. He's not the MVP. I like Brock Purdy, but he's not.
Not even on his own team, he's not the MVP.
No, not at all.
Christian McCaffrey is far more valuable than Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
They lost
Yeah.
both or all 3 games without Trent Williams and Deebo Samuel. Brock Purdy played all 3 of those games. They lost all 3.
Yep.
They did not look good in any of those games.
Mm-hmm.
He's not the most valuable player on his own team.
He's not
can't
more
be the most
valuable
valuable
than
player in the NFL.
C-Mac. Not C-Mac. I think he's not more valuable than Deebo. He's not more valuable than George Kittle even. I don't think. Like he's maybe even Brandon Ayuk might be more valuable than fucking. I love Brock. I think it's really cool what he's doing, but they're setting him up for failure. You know, making him the leading MVP odd. Like that doesn't make any sense.
No.
Yeah. And I refuse to acknowledge that I was stupid about this because the Niners played easily the best game of the season. They played perfect football. They looked insane on offense. They looked insane on defense. The Eagles, who were very fucking good, could not get shit going against them. It's just like it shakes everything up in the NFC because we were sitting here for a few weeks like, oh, the Eagles are clearly the top team in the NFC right now. They're the most sound team. But here come the Niners again, healthy and with Chase Young ready to rock and roll. And it's like, oh, what are they going to do with Brock Purdy in Philly? Oh, he throws 4 touchdowns and they win by over 30 or whatever. They won by a lot. Like 20. It was like 20. They won by 20 something. It was like 42 to
19. Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah.
I mean, the Eagles, though, but also we thought this Eagles team was, fucking nails. Jalen Hurts is MVP. I mean, they couldn't do anything. 19 points of offense from them is just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, well, it was just pure dominance. Like any other team that would go against that Niners team that played on Sunday would have trouble scoring more than 10. Any team.
Absolutely.
That's
true.
Mm-hmm. Like it's just, I mean, it was pure dominance. You play like that, you're gonna go to the Super Bowl and win it easily. Yeah. So
Garrett, I think you're to blame for this Philly collapse. I believe it was you in one of our group chats, the NFL group chat or a text chain. I can't remember, but you said Philly's defense is balling right now.
Yeah, it was against the
Chiefs. Then literally 5 minutes later, you said, hence right now, because they like immediately got scored on right after you sent that.
Yeah.
I just saw them against the Chiefs and the second half, and I was like, they're good. And then beginning stages of the first quarter, I was like, they're playing fucking well.
Yep.
Philly's defense. And then, immediately, like, the 49ers were like, oh, no, all-star offense. Like,
well, that's just Shanahan, too. I think that's Shanahan. I think the Eagles were, whatever they were trying to do, the Eagles had it. And Shanahan, in like 5 minutes, was like, let me change the entire game plan.
It was also like, there were so many times where I was like, Eagles defense, what the fuck are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
They had like this XFL linebacker try to cover Christian McCaffrey. Did you remember this when Brock Purdy kind of just lofted it up and C-Mac was kind of like a wheel almost, and he was going up the sideline, and the linebacker ran straight over and ran like 5 yards in front of him and was just lost, and C-Mac caught the loft and just ran for a bunch of yards, and I'm like, Jesus, what are you doing? I mean, like, you need to get like benched right after that. Like, that was a terrible angle you took.
Yeah, Shanahan offense will do that to you.
They got Shaq Leonard now, so maybe that'll change.
Yeah, that'll.
He got cut like for $60 million. Like, how good can you be if you get cut because you're not good at football anymore and you have $60 million left on your contract?
It's gonna be interesting in the NFC.
It was a fun game for a little bit, and then it turned into a bloodbath.
Yeah,
it was interesting. Glad it wasn't on primetime because we got a really good Thursday night primetime game. Cowboys outlasted the Seattle Seahawks 41-35. Dak cemented himself as what should be the MVP frontrunner, but obviously Brock Purdy is alive, I guess, and breathes and throws a football every once in a while. But the Cowboys looked good. Their defense did not, but their offense looked amazing. And CeeDee Lamb and Dak and Jake Ferguson's like fighting Jamal Adams. It was a very fun game if you're a Cowboys fan.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, high scoring affair. I could have been happy. Finally, I was like, finally a good goddamn Thursday night game. And Al Michaels seemed like he was a little bit more happy, and it not a single punt, I don't think, right?
I don't think so.
Not a single punt that game.
First time since like 1961 that there hasn't been a punt in a game. Yeah.
And also very, very lovely, even though they didn't win. The Seahawks agenda. It's still there. They're still okay enough to be in the hunt. If they would have got blown out, it'd been like, looks like it's it's over. It's over for the Hawk boys, me and Stoney.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
no, I have full confidence they can still be pretty good at the end of the season because Gino balled out. Gino
he
balled out.
did. Yeah, he played well. The
In the
thing
hunt.
is,
But Dak balled out.
The Cowboys are scary right now because the thing is, if that Cowboys defense, which is really good, if they're not having the best night, the offense can pick up their slack. Dak can pick up the slack. That's why I totally agree. I think Dak really hasn't been talked about enough in the MVP conversation, especially earlier in the year. But lately, I mean, there's no one else. And like you mentioned, Brock Purdy, I don't think anyone actually buys into the Brock Purdy MVP stuff. I really don't, especially when Dak's doing what he's doing. And if this Cowboys team can just play complementary football like that, where if the defense is struggling, the offense can pick them up, and vice versa. I mean, I don't know. I mean, this might be the year where the Cowboys fans are every year like, this is our year. This might actually be the year for them. I mean, I don't know if they're Super Bowl team. They definitely can make it to the Super Bowl. I'm not saying that they're like gonna be in the Super Bowl, but they can definitely make a run and are a team that they're definitely contenders. I mean, they could go all the way for sure. So I'm excited to see what they do. I think they're fun to watch. They're really fun to watch on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, no, it was a good game. Dak looks every bit as what everyone thought he was going to look like eventually, and hasn't crumbled so far this season, which has been great. He's only
Yeah,
had arguably two bad games. Cardinals early on, week 2, I think, and
yeah,
then the 49ers was like week 3.
yeah,
Other than that, I don't think he's played poorly necessarily. They have Philly coming up next week, so let's see how they compete against Philly, and then Christmas Eve, they got the Dolphins in Miami, so they got two pretty big games this month, and we'll see what happens
yeah,
with Dallas.
yeah. They got a really hard schedule coming up, so we'll see.
Yeah,
It's going to
and
be a big test.
I mean, having a hard schedule, it's like, oh, I mean, we'll see, but it's about to be the biggest opportunity they have to prove that
Hmm.
Dak is
Yeah,
MVP and they are for real. Obviously, we say it all the time, like if the Cowboys just win against good teams, we can say that they're for real, and they never really do. But they won against they outlasted the Seahawks. I know their defense looked kind of sus, but they did well. They had a great offensive game against a good defense. You beat Philly and you put yourself in first place of your division. Our sky could be the limit, because you'll have a home playoff game, 2 home playoff games maybe. So we'll see. I don't know.
yeah,
My thing is, right now, if you're Dallas, would you rather stay at the 5 seed because you get to play the NFC South in the wild card round?
yeah. That's true.
Whoever the NFC South ends up winning, like that's an easier game. And then after that, then you would end up either playing Philly or San Francisco, depending on what happened in the first round. I don't know. It's just
Well,
you
if
never want
you're
to have to like pick your place. You just want to get in.
Yeah,
But if I'm Dallas, I'd rather play Atlanta or Tampa right now
for sure.
yeah,
Absolutely.
if you're
than Green
second
Bay.
seed,
Green Bay is going to end up being that 6 or 7 seed, and if
Yeah,
you're the 2
true.
or the 3, like I don't want to play Green Bay.
But also, you got to
well, if
think about it. Like either way, they're going to run into these teams that are
Yeah,
fucking tough. Like they're going to run into the Niners or the Eagles or somebody. So I mean, I don't really think it matters to them that much. Like I said, just get
well,
in and then and
if
just
you're
play how you've been
if,
playing and figure. Well, we'll see how they do against the Eagles next week. I think that's going to be really interesting. That's definitely the game of the week next week because that's going to tell us a lot about the NFC playoff picture.
if you're second seed in the NFC, which obviously, if the Cowboys win the division, the Niners will. Well, I don't even know if the Niners.
if
Oh,
they end up
Niners
with the
probably
same
will have
record, then the Niners would go 1.
I
Yeah,
mean, what do the Niners schedule look like, bro? I mean, like, what if the Cowboys fuck around and get first seed, right? And then
Maybe.
the NFC runs through Dallas.
theoretically.
Like, I mean, that would be,
The
that would
49ers
be interesting.
have a pretty easy schedule, especially for them. They have the Seahawks this week, then the Cardinals, then the Ravens, which is a good game, and then the Commanders, then the Rams.
They're probably gonna win out.
Yeah,
But
they,
if
they,
the
they
Cowboys
could they
somehow
could
win
win out.
out,
They might lose to the Ravens, but that's pretty much it.
if the Cowboys win out and get first in the division, they'll be second seed. So that means they'll play the 7th seed in their first week, which
Yeah,
would probably be Green Bay,
Minnesota,
Minnesota. That's a
LA,
win.
Seattle. Yeah.
That's a win. And then they'll
Green Bay
probably
is going to
host.
be sneaky in the playoffs, though. Like Green Bay, especially after beating the Chiefs, I don't know what they. I don't really. We need to see more from them. But if they continue to play like they played against the Chiefs, I don't know. They could make a run too. I'm not saying they're Super Bowl caliber, but I mean they're not a walk in the park for any of these big powerhouse NFC teams.
Yeah,
You know?
I think we're well on our way to a Dallas San Francisco NFC Championship game in San Fran. We're probably well on our way to that,
which will be really fun.
If Dallas can eke out these big wins in the next few weeks.
Yeah.
So let's run through the playoff picture real quick before we sign off. So thank you to Zing Zang and the Celebrity Mint for sponsoring this episode. Go get your Blazing Bloody Mary mix from Zing Zang. Go check out all the awesome collectibles on celebritymint.com.
Mike Tyson trading coins, legal tender.
Not a big deal.
They were Ric Flair before, and now we got Mike Tyson ones. They're fucking badass. So
they're pretty sick. Check out our Instagram as well, Apollo HOU. You can go see some of that giveaway stuff that we did and the Mike Tyson signed gloves. They've always got stuff going on at celebritymint.com. Go check them out. The NFC, since we just talked about it, Philly is still the number 1 seed. San Francisco's 2. Detroit is 3. Atlanta is 4. Those would be your division winners. The NFC South doesn't count.
One of these things just doesn't belong there.
Yep.
One of these things is not like the other.
5 is Dallas. Minnesota is 6. And Green Bay is 7. So that would round out your wild card. And in the hunt, the Los Angeles Rams, Seattle Seahawks, and Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah.
LA and Seattle are 6 and 6. Tampa is 5 and 7. But Tampa could also just win the division and be in the 4 seed, or they could just miss the playoffs entirely.
Yeah.
I mean, other than the top few teams in the NFC, just mediocrity across the board.
Mm-hmm.
Like the AFC, like they have like teams that are 7 and 5 that are outside of the playoffs looking in.
Yeah.
Yes. And then you have teams that are like the Buccaneers that are 5 and 7 and in the hunt. And I'm like, Christ.
Atlanta is a 4 seed.
Atlanta's 6 and winning their division. And you know what? They probably will win their division because the division is bad.
Yeah. We're going to have a 7 or an 8 win team in the 4 seed, and it's going to piss a lot of people off. But just remember, there was that one time Seattle went 7 and 9, won the NFC West, and the Beastquake happened.
And then Beastquake happened, and then caused an earthquake, and then they got washed the next round.
But at least we had the Beastquake. That was cool.
Yep.
On the AFC side, Miami. My Miami Dolphins are the number 1 seed as of right now. Control their own destiny. All they have to do is just beat Baltimore and win everything else. Baltimore's number 2. So that matchup week 17 is going to be terrifying and could also potentially mean who gets the first round bye. Kansas City's number 3. Jacksonville Jaguars are in the 4 seed. Frauds. Sorry. Number 5, starting the wild card. Pittsburgh, which Kenny Pickett just got hurt. So I don't know how long they're going to stay at the 5 seed necessarily, but there is like devil magic happening in Pittsburgh. So they could just keep doing it. 6, Indianapolis, also frauds. 7, Cleveland. Joe Flacco is the quarterback now.
Fraudish.
Their defense is good, but maybe not as good as we think. I don't know. And then in the hunt, we have your Houston Texans at 7 and 5, Denver Broncos at 6 and 6, and Buffalo Bills are at 6 and 6. Buffalo being the 10 seed right now in December is just
it's insane,
giving me so much joy and so much life right now. I'm just having a blast.
It's pretty simple. It's pretty simple that the 3 teams that are in the hunt need to just be flip-flopped. Like the teams in the hunt are the ones that deserve to be the wild card teams because
keep Buffalo out of here. They lost to the Jets.
No, don't get Buffalo out of here. Buffalo is better than Pittsburgh, Indy, or Cleveland. I don't care about your biases.
No, they lost to the Jets.
That's fine. That's one game. But overall, I would take Buffalo in a game against Pittsburgh, Indy, or Cleveland right now. Absolutely no doubt about it. Maybe Cleveland is the only one.
The Gardner Minshew
Fuck
magic.
The Colts, dude. It's just so ridiculous to me that fucking they keep winning. And the Titans have never done anything good for me in my whole goddamn life. Okay? Never a single good thing. All right? And I just wanted them to do one thing for me. You get the old Oilers jerseys. You get DeAndre Hopkins, okay? You have those guys. You have these things that mean a lot to me. Do one thing for me, okay? One thing. Do not let Gardner Minshew hit Alec fucking Pierce for a 60-yard bomb with 2 minutes left in overtime. Please, God, don't do that. and they did.
Noah, I
And
have a question. Why do
yes,
the Oilers jerseys mean so much to you when you've never actually seen that franchise play in your city,
it's
which you
just
don't
a
even live in
Houston.
anymore?
It's Houston. Garrett agrees with me. It's Houston.
I do. It's
Yeah, it's
It's just
cool.
very
It's
funny.
classic, and it's not Tennessee. It's Houston. It's
for
ridiculous.
They're a
years,
franchise.
you know, at least they're finally utilizing them, because for years the Texans have been like, can we have those because we want to
Yeah.
wear them? And the Tennessee Titans kept being like, no, they're ours. They just weren't fucking wearing them. And it's like, well, wear them then.
Yeah.
And now it's like, okay, we will wear them. We'll see them in a few weeks when the Texans go and travel to Tennessee and fucking
Yeah.
play them.
I'm
I'm like,
I can't
all
wait
right,
for the
you fucking
Texans to
assholes.
dog walk the Titans in those jerseys, dude. I
Yeah,
can't
we're
wait.
gonna do it, and then we're gonna be like, winner gets those jerseys, fucking
Yeah.
dog walk them, and they're gonna be like,
Well,
fuck you, we don't even want them anymore, bitch.
yeah, and the rumor is
Okay.
that the Texans, their new jerseys are gonna be or have Oiler blue themes. So I think
So-
I think there's an agreement. So
Was
but
that the
still,
tweet that y'all sent in the group the other day with the tees of the candy red with the baby blue? Somebody
Yeah,
sent
that's
yeah,
that.
well, that's
rumored.
like the color. Yeah, I
It's
don't know what
rumored
that
that's
was. I
gonna
don't
be
think
our
that's
main
a
color.
jersey reveal though, but it's something along those
It's
lines.
a shirt. Thing is, I think they're starting to sell shirts and hats like
yeah,
that, or
you're
maybe
inching towards it already. Y'all are
starting
Yeah,
to make.
they're-
We're starting
something.
to make them like that, and like it's rumored that's gonna be our main color next year, and
Yeah,
like the not like Oiler blue, but like Houston Columbia blue, something like
Yeah.
that,
yeah.
like a
Baby
lighter
blue.
blue.
Baby
So
blue
that's
candy
rumored.
red.
And, yeah,
I need it.
and I'll take that because that's cool. So
Yeah. Y'all need new jerseys anyway, so
absolutely.
might as well make them cool.
I
But
hope
yeah,
so.
that's the playoff picture. The AFC wildcard picture is going to change dramatically over the next few weeks. I think the NFC won't change too much. Maybe Minnesota falls out with Josh Dobbs. Other than that, I think Green Bay and Dallas are kind of in that last spot, maybe. But yeah, the 5 through 7 seed is very wonky in the AFC. I think that one's going to change dramatically over just the next 2 weeks, and then by the end of the season, it could look completely different.
I will right before we
better.
go. One more thing about the Browns. I was just looking at their schedule.
Mhm.
They have an easy fucking schedule for the rest of the way. Like it's pretty crazy how many winnable games they have with Joe Flacco. Even I mean, they have Jaguars, Bears, Texans. I think they lose that one. Jets in Cleveland, and then Cincinnati.
Okay.
Like, they have a whole lot of winnable games, so they're probably going to get in the postseason.
I mean, if they go
They
500,
deserve to be in the postseason. I'll give it to them. I mean, that defense. I love that defense. I love watching them. I mean, it sucks that they don't have a quarterback right now, and even it sucks that they even their starter
don't
that
love
they
him.
should have. He sucks too. But Joe Flacco's fun though. I had a good time watching Joe Flacco versus Matt Stafford this week, so I'm cool with that. But yeah, I mean, I think they're going to make it, but I think Houston and Denver are going to be in those spots pretty soon. Hopefully.
we'll just have to see. But
Yeah.
this has been Play Action Takes, presented by Apollo Media, brought to you by Zing Zang's Blazing Bloody Mary Mix and the Celebrity Mint. We've watched a lot of football. We got more football coming on Thursday. I think the Thursday night game should just be bombed off the schedule and not even be played. But we'll talk about that come Thursday.
Yes, we will. More
Absolutely.
more football in the near future.
I'll
We
be
love
in
that.
I'll be in Miami next week when we record this episode. So
Oh, nice.
I'll be living life. I'm gonna go to the
Wait,
Monday
you're
night
going
game.
to the Dolphins game next week?
Yeah, Monday night.
Nice.
Dolphins versus Titans.
Yeah, you'll be at the Miami game. I'll be at the Texans game in person. That's gonna be a good time. We're living
Garrett,
here.
are you
We're
gonna
really
go
doing
to-
football right, boys.
You gonna go somewhere?
I'll probably end up being at Little Woodrow's for 12 hours again, like I was.
Maybe
on Sunday.
Big City Wings, Houston's joint, wing joint, and Apollo's wing joint. Maybe
They have
maybe
great food. They have great beer specials and great food specials on Sunday. So
Yeah, maybe. But this has been Play Action Takes. Let's watch some more football this week.
Let's do it.
more football coming soon. Dr.
Football.
Football. Watch football.